Welcome to today's show titled Ecosystem on a Plate: How Your Diet Can Influence Climate and Health. Global warming is one of the biggest issues of our time, turning up the heat on our planet in more ways than one. But it's just one piece of a much bigger puzzle called climate change. While global warming specifically refers to the rising temperatures caused by greenhouse gas emissions, climate change covers the whole range of environmental disruptions, from altered seasonal patterns to rising sea levels and more extreme weather events. Both are signs that our Earth is increasingly out of balance, with harmful human activities, especially the intensive animal people-raising industry, playing a chief role in these negative shifts in our planet's well-being. Understanding the difference between global warming and climate change helps us comprehend how complex the challenge is and why we need to rethink everything, right down to what's on our plates. Animal people factories are significant, yet often overlooked, driver of climate change. When we think about global warming, the connection to the industry might not be immediately obvious. Many are still not aware of the vast amounts of greenhouse gases animal person exploitation facilities generate: carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, each of which has a hugely damaging effect on our atmosphere. United States National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, data shows that methane is the second biggest cause of global temperature rise, and it's far more potent than CO2 when it comes to trapping heat. According to NASA scientists, the concentration of methane in the atmosphere has more than doubled over the past 200 years. This increase is largely due to the soaring global demand for animal people meat over the last 50 years. These emissions aren't just numbers, they're driving up global temperatures and throwing our environment off balance, worsening the climate crisis. The scale of this impact is staggering. Animal people factories are the top source of the world's greenhouse gas emissions, far surpassing the transportation sector. Every time we choose to eat animal people products, we're fueling this destructive cycle, making the industry a critical factor in the climate emergency we're all facing. It's not just the emissions from intensively raised animal persons that are a problem. The industry also takes a heavy toll on our land and water. When manure from animal people is used as fertilizer, it often leads to an excess of nitrogen in the soil. But this excess doesn't just stay there. It runs off into nearby water sources, carrying with it a toxic mix of nutrients that can trigger harmful algal blooms. These blooms not only deplete oxygen levels, thus suffocating aquatic life, but they also contaminate drinking water, creating serious health risks for humans. Meanwhile, the land suffers as well. Overgrazing and constant trampling by the animal folk cause severe soil erosion, stripping away the land's ability to support plant life. As the soil becomes less fertile and more susceptible to runoff, the cycle of degradation continues, turning once productive landscapes into barren wastelands and polluting our waterways. Deforestation, driven largely by the demand for pasture land and space for growing animal person feed, intensifies these environmental issues and drives climate change even more. Forests are crucial for regulating the Earth's climate by absorbing carbon dioxide. However, when they are cleared for grazing or raising of feed, the carbon is released back into the atmosphere, worsening the greenhouse effect. The loss of trees also removes protection for the soil, leading to more erosion and increased nutrient runoff. In regions like the Amazon, where deforestation is widespread, the situation is particularly alarming. The rainforest, once a powerful carbon sink, is now at risk of becoming a net carbon emitter, speeding up global warming. But the consequences of climate change extend far beyond environmental degradation. They have a direct and serious impact on our health. As global temperatures rise, we're seeing more frequent and intense heat waves, leading to a spike in heat-related illnesses and even deaths. Vulnerable populations, such as the elderly and those with pre-existing health conditions, face higher risks. Climate change also affects our health in several significant ways, including the spread of infectious diseases. Water and food-borne illnesses are escalating as global warming worsens. Extreme weather, like flooding, can spread harmful pathogens by contaminating water sources with sewage, agricultural runoff, and animal-people waste, while rising temperatures create perfect breeding grounds for bacteria in water and food, putting our health at serious risk. For instance, flooding can lead to outbreaks of cholera, a disease caused by consuming food or water contaminated with the Vibrio cholerae bacteria. Similarly, rising temperatures can foster the growth of salmonella in food, leading to food poisoning. For example, between February and August 2024, 409 people across 45 states in the U.S. had been infected with one of the salmonella strains linked to an outbreak. Of those with available details, 32% of the infected required hospitalization, and fortunately, no deaths were reported. The true number of cases for this period likely was higher, as it is likely many people recovered without medical care and were not tested. One particularly concerning area is the increase in zoonotic diseases, those transmitted from animal people to humans. Dr. Gregory Albery is a behavior and disease ecologist at Georgetown University in the United States and co-author of the 2022 article in the journal Nature titled "Climate Change Increases Cross-Species Viral Transmission Risk." He says, as the world changes, the face of disease will change too, because climate change is shaking our ecosystems to their core. The way that we understand viruses and their ecologies will need to evolve. As ecosystems are stressed by rising temperatures and shifting weather patterns, animal people are forced to migrate to new areas, often bringing them into closer contact with human populations. This increased interaction between wildlife persons, intensively raised animal folk, and humans elevates the risk of pathogens crossing species barriers, potentially leading to the emergence of new diseases. Furthermore, climate change can extend the range and activity periods of vectors like mosquitoes, ticks, and other insects that transmit diseases to humans. Moreover, climate change exacerbates air pollution, which leads to a rise in respiratory issues like asthma and chronic bronchitis. Higher temperatures can cause increased formation of ground-level ozone, a harmful pollutant that irritates the lungs and drives severe respiratory issues, especially in urban areas. On top of these physical health impacts, The stress from climate-related disasters like wildfires, floods, and extreme storms has mental health consequences. Anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD linked to climate disasters are on the rise. This indicates that the crisis extends beyond environmental concerns. It is a significant health emergency. Addressing its root causes, including those related to raising animal people for food, is crucial to protecting both the planet and our well-being. As the global community grapples with the urgent threat of climate change, it's becoming increasingly clear that intensive animal people raising activities are the primary cause, responsible for the highest portion of greenhouse gas emissions compared to other industries, as well as causing deforestation and water pollution. The environmental toll of animal people factories is staggering. One effective way to address these impacts and mitigate climate change is by reducing the environmental footprint of our diet, which can help restore our planet's ecosystems. Adopting a vegan diet is the most efficient way to achieve this. By eliminating the demand for animal people meat and dairy, we can drastically reduce methane emissions, conserve precious natural resources, and restore ecosystems. This shift is not only crucial for the planet but also for preventing zoonotic pandemics, as the close quarters and extremely poor conditions in animal people production facilities often serve as breeding grounds for dangerous diseases like bird flu that can jump to humans. Beyond its environmental benefits, a vegan diet offers substantial health advantages. Numerous studies, including those by leading experts like Dr. T. Colin Campbell, vegan, a world-renowned American biochemist and leading authority on nutrition and long-term health, and organizations like Shining World Compassion Award laureate, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, have shown that adopting a vegan diet rich in whole foods and abstaining from animal-derived products can prevent and even reverse chronic diseases such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. By embracing a diet centered on fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and seeds, individuals can improve their long-term health while contributing to a more sustainable and pandemic-resilient world. The choice to go vegan isn't just a personal health decision. It's a powerful action against climate change and a proactive step toward safeguarding global health. Together, we can make a positive impact, one delicious and compassionate bite at a time.
Be resplendent. Be vegan.